Hello, comeback crew, and welcome back to Scorpion Opens a Box. And today, you guessed it, by the thumbnail probably, that we got another sword, and here's the box. Guess where it came from? Guess. Yeah, it's an Amazon sword this time. Not an Etsy one, it's an Amazon sword. It is, again, in the cheap price point. It's by Eroton. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but you look at swords enough on Amazon and he comes up a lot. This seller's swords are very elaborate. They're very themed, and this one that I have in here, I can't find again when this review happens. So this exact one will kind of have something that looks like it on there right now, as the products constantly change and evolve. But this one is exclusive to me at the moment. The theme is not yellow, it's skulls. So just keep that in mind. It's an Amazon sword. It was 139 something for this sword. So it was cheaper than the last reviewed T10 Wakizashi, but the steel in this is going to be the same. Before we get into all those crazy details, before we open a box, we're going to open it and then talk about those things. That is the sword box that it comes in. I unsheath the actual box we're going to be opening. Made in China. It is a Chinese-made sword, so you can see it. Here it is, and as you can see, unlike true katana, like most swords you get, it comes with the dust cloth. I forget what the name of it is. I know every other thing about a sword than what this dust cloth is called, and it has a strap, which they don't normally have. That's a bonus. So you can carry this with you. Not really, because you probably get arrested. Very nice material. You are in the shot. And we're gonna open it because that's what we do. There's no plastic this time. No, it is under here. As soon as I open it, it's gonna be the sword. Get ready for white, not yellow, okay? Boom! Whoa! Now the light looks kind of weird, and it's reflecting off the screen a little bit, but this is gray, silver, white. There's silver banding, as you can see from this shot. And a train's coming. Hold on! Go away! I don't want any! And here we have the skull-themed. By the way, if you're looking for this sword, you're not gonna find a name for it, because Amazon swords, and typically Etsy ones as well, are full of tags. They don't actually have a title. So this thing is called like a full Japanese handmade katana sword, T10, carbon steel, forged from the Sauron's blade stuff. You know, it's gonna just be a bunch of crap. So to find it, I'll link you to the page that you can find all of them. And you just pick the one you want, okay? That's how that's gonna work. This is silver, not white. It's silver. The lights in here in the studio are hitting it very, very harshly. So in the other shot, you're gonna see what it actually looks like. But look at that! Skull all the way around the saya. Sageo, gray, Kurigata, silver, into Tsuba. Tsuba, as you can see right here, is a skull on its side, with the eye going into the gold step up. The Buchi is demon masks and faces. 2 Manukis are very hard to see because of the theme. They're silver as well, but they're against white and silver banding. You can see that banding there. Very, very elegant, very extravagant as well. The Kashira right here is an Oni. Demon head. Great. I love that. I do. This is supposed to be, and I'm going to reveal it now, a real Homon on this blade. And it is. So it's clay tempered. Differential tempering. We're going to take it out of there. All the way to the end. Look at this. Kisaki is the basic. It's always a basic Kisaki. I'm going to just take off some of that. And you can see it a lot better. And in that angle, you can actually see the Homon. Real Homon. Fake Homon. Laser S. Looks too perfect. Real is a differential hardening process. The back of this sword is being cooled slower than the blade's edge. This is T10 steel again. We know how good that steel is because it's a tool steel. There's 1% carbon in this. And it's got tungsten as part of its alloy. Tungsten, if you've been following any other channels that are doing crazy stuff with these tungsten cubes, is extremely dense. Very hard metal. So the edge will hold very well with this tool steel. And it's not brittle. Hold on, let me look at this Habaki really quick. Yeah, Habaki, good fit. Good fit for the Habaki. It's so close here to the very edge of that blade that it's almost becoming it. Becoming the Ha. The good Sori. Good blade curve. Very basic curve. Universal. So this would fit in basically any saya you get for it. If we look in the Koiguchi, which is this, the opening, clean. It's a better wood. Pretty clean. It is a little bit softer than the Wakizashi. See the fit? Do you hold yourself? You do. Okay. So it's a good fit that is not too tight this time. Last time, the very first sword we reviewed, you couldn't do this until they fixed it. So this is good. It will draw nicely. And it's not scraping. When we return a sword, when we return the sword to the sheath, to the saya, you ride the spine, the Nagasa. The Nagasa is riding the saya down so that the Ha, or the blade edge, doesn't touch. So returning it, they'll go very, very slowly to make sure that it's being pulled to the spine and then stop. I mean, $139. It's very extravagant. You can tell they go through, they don't have too many. You'll notice sword makers like this, they'll have thousands of swords they make. If you want to make a sword well, you'll have a few listing. And they'll do those swords and put their energy into making those very, very well. And so I can see by their menu that they're not making a crazy amount. They're making probably a dozen or more, a dozen or a little bit more than that, which is not anywhere close to the amounts that some of these Chinese companies get to. So there's more focus and more care for the details of these swords. Now, there are Makugi pins. The Makugi. Here. So they're there and there. So we can take this apart. This is fake Same. I like linoleum flooring again. These fittings are cast. Very, very, very thin metal. Do you want to tell the difference between metal and plastic, wood, those kind of things? If you're in a room and all items have been in the room at that same temperature, Metal materials like this pull heat out of your fingers faster than plastic. You'll touch a plastic thing, and then you'll touch the thing you think might be plastic or metal, and if it feels colder, it's metal. With a thin cast like this, it mimics plastic very, very closely. So on tone alone, you can't tell that way. But like to the touch, it is a metal, but it's a very cheap one. That wrap, the Ito wrap here, you can see with that detail, they've put a faux cord, type of silver cord, in between each fold. I can't even imagine how hard that is. Don't see any glue. All the edges are very well done. Okay, let's go up. Go up. Okay, so now we're standing. Put the sword on. So it fits. It does not fit me very well as far as the theme goes, because it is majority silver, majority gray, toward that spectrum. Alternative color scheme for me maybe fit it, but what I'm wearing right now doesn't. Gold though, gold silver, kind of works. I mean, you can argue about it. You want to argue about it? This does have a creative adjective for how sharp it is. It says, blade is very sharp. We're gonna see about that. Yeah, it is. That will cut paper. So it is indeed razor sharp. So now I gotta be very, very careful. So we're back outside again. Hello? What? Oh, there. Hi. We're outside. Old pumpkins. The box it came in. And we've got, of course, our milk jug and 2-liter bottle and a special honest juice. This is a real test because that's thick plastic. As I'm saying that, I'm looking at empty water bottles that I haven't filled up yet. We'll be right back. So here we go. We're gonna start with the actual package it came out of because that's fun. Amazon box. And a stationary cut on cardboard isn't as easy as you think it is. As soon as the blade stops biting in that, friction will take hold of it and the box will move away with the blade instead of it following through. So let's see if I can cut through it. I'm gonna stand in this tire. Yeah! Got it. Clean. Pretty clean. Goodbye, Amazon box. These are not fresh pumpkins, by the way. They're kind of, you know, this is gonna be like butter. I already know. I don't have to worry about that. I can worry about hitting this pole though. What the hell? Okay, I cut my platform. Cut a pretty good chunk out of it with that upward swipe right there. And nothing happened to the edge. Yeah, wanna see it? There we go. So let's go 2-liter bottle. Wow, I was worried about standing too close to it. I think I could cut it without water. Yeah, we did. Okay, so we're gonna go to the really difficult honest juice. This is some serious plastic. Woo! Blew it up. That exploded. Fruit punch. Let's get Pumpkin up there. Jack. His name is Jack. Last name, a lantern. It sits very high. You would want to be able to pull it back, be able to do a proper draw, but can't pull it back. It's very, very high. You can do triangle. Triangle. Cut in half. Next contestant. Look at this boy. This guy's got some beef. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Try cut. But this will work better than the walkie-talkie. And cut. Beautiful. Not my lawn. Beautiful cut. My lawn is very ugly right now. These pumpkins are very dense. Oh. Bingo! That's a really weird pumpkin. I cut the seeds in half. Get over here! Now we've got our final pumpkin. Is a very special pumpkin that's weird. I got it because it's weird. And Baby Assassin was playing with it. I don't even know what it is. It's a pumpkin. It's very dense. We're gonna do a stationary cap on it. So we need some of our nails. Put the nail up here. This. Shove that in there like that. And pause. Okay, so a few of you may have noticed what I just did there, and seeing me here now, you're way ahead of me, and explaining, don't ever put a piece of steel in the middle of something you're intending to chop in half with a sword. Learn from me. It's not that bad, but it's just, I have to say that because go ahead. Cut his face off. No. We did it. Chipped the blade, didn't we? Yeah, we got a little dent in it. You know why? Because I hit the nail. Very unfortunate. Yeah, bent the crap out of it. Moron! Hit the nail. Can't believe you did that. Right there. Oh, timelines. Didn't put it in far enough. And we got ourselves a little chip in that edge. Can barely see it, but it's there. There it is. Still a good edge. You can't fault it for chipping when you're cutting steel with steel. Like sword meets sword, you're gonna have something happen. No matter what. But with the wood, with all the other test objects, obviously, it's not gonna do anything to it. Your edge will hold just fine with this T10. Just gonna file it down. I'll be able to save it, no problem. Don't worry about it. And now we're back inside to wrap it up. This is a very good sword. $139 for a sword like this is quite good. So you can trust it. As long as you're not an idiot. And you don't plan on hitting steel with your steel. Hard blocks are not a good idea ever anyway with any sword. If you were live in practice and someone was coming at you with a sword, the last block you want to do is the hard block. It's more of a deflecting emotion thing. So the sword isn't really meant for that. It's not meant to check. It's meant to slice things. And it does very well. And I forgot to mention, force. There is a bohie. Very big fan of the bohie. I like the bohie on my sword. So this one has it. The Wakizashi, T10 Wakizashi didn't, but this one does. So it makes me happy. The bohie on a sword like this, and here it is. Why do people want a bohie on the sword? Several reasons why a bohie is useful, and utility-wise. We wouldn't put something on the sword for no reason. Decoration aside, as far as the blade design goes, everything is functional. The bohie, not a blood groove. People say that, but it is not a blood groove. It is instead a lot more badass than that. Think of a cheese knife and how it has a kind of a foolery inset. Kind of creates a pocket of space for less friction. So when you would cut into a person, if the blade stops, getting the blade back out again is kind of hard. The bohie makes it easier to extract the sword. Number 2 is weight. Weight distribution. Even a few grams off balance this direction makes the sword feel and control sluggishly. In the hand, which this feels really, really good, by the way, I didn't say that, but the balance is pretty good on this. In addition to that, it actually makes it stronger. What do you mean the removed material makes it stronger? And think of the indentation of a card like this. Okay, so if you've got a bohie in it, bending this sideways becomes very difficult. Becomes much more difficult than if it was not with a bohie. It was a straight material and you could bend it. It is a Mr. Wizard experiment from years and years ago. It's a scientific principle that I can't remember the name of. The shape of something will, make its structural integrity better. The bohie does that too. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing, the sword says to you when you're doing correctly. If I were to take this, we're going to do this now. I'm going to chop the microphone above my head. The bohie tells you when your strike is true, when your angle is good. If you have a bad angle on your attack, the sword doesn't tell you anything. What I mean by that is there's a whoosh. There's a whooshing sound that happens with bohie, but only if your line is right. It cuts the air correctly. If your line is even just a little bit off by a degree or so, you hear nothing. So, we're not gonna chop the lights off. Okay. In between the lights. Here. Now you hear that, right? If I'm even this much off, can you see it? That much. You hear anything? Same shot. Straight. Off. So the sword talks to you with a bohie. That's why I like it so much. I've never fully explained that. I keep saying that I like it, but it's useful to us. This sword gets a 4.5 out of 5 flaming skulls. My fault that I broke the sword because I hit a nail. Because I'm an idiot. But beyond that, 4.5, perfect for this sword. Cheap. So we're not going at that scale. It's not like this is a 5 sword at $1,000. It's not. It's a 4.5 sword at under $200. Makes sense, right? I'm Scorpion. The Scorpion opens a box. Please head over there to Amazon and pick this sword up from Eroton. I'll just link you. Go click the link below if you want one of these swords. You're not going to get this one. It might be back. I don't know. It might be a seasonal thing that they go through. But there are plenty of other ones. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Click the little bell icon to get notified when we make things, whatever the hell they're going to be. I'm in Scorpion. You just watched me open a box. Bye-bye, everybody.